The dancing plague. In Strasbourg, France, a woman suddenly began dancing non-stop in the streets. Soon, dozens joined her, then hundreds. They danced day and night without rest. Some collapsed from exhaustion, some reportedly even died of heart attacks. Historians call it the dancing plague of 1518, a bizarre outbreak where nobody could stop moving. To this day, nobody knows whether it was mass hysteria, poisoned bread, or something supernatural. Can you imagine an entire city dancing itself to death? The Cadaver Synod. Now, this one is straight out of a horror movie. In the year 897, Pope Stephen VI decided to put his predecessor, Pope Formosus, on trial. But here's the twist. Formosus had been dead for months. His rotting corpse was dug up, dressed in papal robes, and placed on a throne in court. A dead man, being cross-examined. Of course, he was found guilty. Historians call this one of the most grotesque trials in history. The Cadaver Synod. The Great Molasses Flood. You've heard of floods. But what about a flood of sticky molasses? In 1919, a huge storage tank filled with millions of liters of molasses suddenly burst in Boston. A deadly wave of sticky hot syrup rushed through the streets, moving as fast as 35 miles per hour. It swallowed buildings, knocked over train cars, and tragically killed 21 people. Survivors said the air smelled like sweetness for weeks. To this day, locals say on hot days, the streets still faintly smell like molasses. The exploding whale. Here's one that sounds made up, but it really happened. In 1970, a giant whale carcass washed ashore in Oregon. Authorities had no idea how to get rid of it. Their brilliant plan? Blow it up with dynamite. The explosion was a disaster. Huge chunks of rotting whale flesh rained down on cars, houses, and horrified bystanders. One car was completely destroyed by falling blubber. Lesson learned. Never use explosives to clean up a whale. The year without a summer. Imagine a year where summer never comes. In 1816, a massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia sent so much ash into the atmosphere that global temperatures dropped. Crops failed, snow fell in June, and food shortages spread across Europe and America. This strange year without summer even inspired Mary Shelley to write her famous novel, Frankenstein, a bizarre natural disaster that changed history and literature at the same time. Operation Paul Bunyan. This one sounds like a comedy sketch. In 1976, after 2 American soldiers were killed while trimming a tree in the Korean demilitarized zone, the U.S. decided to send a message. They launched Operation Paul Bunyan, sending hundreds of troops, tanks, helicopters, and even aircraft carriers, just to cut down a single tree. The mission ended without conflict, but it goes down in history as the most heavily armed tree cutting ever. The Football War. Wars usually start over land, money, or power. But in 1969, El Salvador and Honduras went to war. Over football. After a heated World Cup qualifying match, riots broke out, and tensions between the nations boiled over. Within weeks, a full-blown war erupted, leaving thousands dead. While politics and immigration issues were the real causes, history remembers it as the bizarre Football War. Proof that in some places, football really is a matter of life and death. Tulip Mania. Today we hear about stock market crashes. But in the 1600s, the Dutch lost their minds over tulips. At the height of Tulip Mania, one single tulip bulb was worth more than a house. People sold farms and fortunes just to own rare tulip varieties. But as with all bubbles, the market collapsed overnight, leaving thousands bankrupt. It's remembered as the world's first major economic bubble, caused by flowers.